grab the phone, call Brayton here. I got him on speed dial.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. Number 3, actually, on speed dial.
88th Air Base Wing, this is Senior Airman Metzger. How may I help you?
Hey, Brayton. It's Ken LaRock. How you doing?
Hey, Ken. Good to hear from you. I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Well, I've got my wife, Felita, here on speaker, and she recently got an assignment to Wright-Patt, which is very exciting, and I possibly have a civilian job on base lined up. Just wondering if you can give us some info on the base and the local area.
Wow, that's awesome. It'd be great to have you guys around again. I think you're really going to like it here. Hey, by the way, are you guys by a computer? I have a really awesome link to send you.
No, but Ken has a smartphone. You can send it there.
And it's on the way.
Got it. Clicking the link now. Wow, looks like a pretty amazing place with a lot going on there.
It sure does.
Wright-Patterson is definitely unique. You probably know the base is just east of Dayton, and I'm sure you've heard about the Wright brothers. They built their first plane in their bicycle shop downtown. But you can learn more about that when you get here. What's really cool is what's going on at Wright-Patt now. What happens here takes all that aviation history and sends it into the future.
Really? How is that? Isn't Wright-Patt just another air base?
No, not at all. Believe it or not, there are over 100 different units here, and they do a lot of different things. There's no way I could list them all, but I'll hit a few of the major ones. There's the 88th Air Base Wing, that's where I work. We're considered the host unit. We provide the infrastructure that makes the base run. The security, emergency services, maintenance, finance, personnel offices, and everything else to keep the base open.
You said it's like a town or a city. How big is the place?
Well, here's an interesting fact. The base is the largest single-site employer in the state of Ohio. More than 27,000 people come through the gates every day. That includes military, civilian employees, and contractors. If it were a true city, it would be in the top 50 cities in the state.
Okay, Wright-Patt sounds a lot bigger than where I am now. What all goes on there?
Well, Wright-Patt is part of Air Force Materiel Command. The command headquarters is here on base. If you don't know much about AFMC, this is it in a nutshell. AFMC does the research, testing, and acquisition for every aircraft and weapons system in the Air Force. And it doesn't stop there. Once the aircraft and systems are in the field, AFMC sustains them throughout their life cycle. All the big units on base, and there are plenty of them, support that mission. But lots of other things go on here too. The 445th Airlift Wing, an Air Force Reserve unit, operates from here. They conduct worldwide airlift operations. And then there's the Air Force Institute of Technology, the Air Force's Graduate School of Engineering and Management. Like I said, there's over 100 units here, so I don't want to get too far into the weeds. One thing you'll want to know is that the base has 2 parts, known as Area A and Area B.
2 parts to the base? Well, how will I know where to go when I get there?
That's why you want to make sure you get a sponsor. Your sponsor gives you more information about your job, where you'll work, and the local area. Their job is to make sure you have a smooth move and answer any questions you have along the way. And Ken, if you do get that civilian job on base, you should get a sponsor too. The Civilian Personnel Office can help you out with that.
Why? Isn't Felita's sponsor supposed to help with the entire family move?
Sure they will, but as a civilian employee there are lots of other things that you'll have to take care of as well, completely separate from a military move. You'll have in-processing, newcomers orientation, and other things to get you into the civilian workforce that a military sponsor wouldn't necessarily know about. It's always better to have someone from your new workplace that has been there and done that.
That sounds like great advice. But can you tell us a little bit about the area? What's base housing like?
Well, like I said earlier, Wright-Patt is just east of Dayton. You can even see the skyline from parts of the base. As far as housing, it's located both on and off base, and there's over 1,600 units. The housing's privatized, so airmen and DoD civilians can live there. There are lots of nearby communities, and some people choose to either rent or buy a home once they get here.
Any idea how long it'll take our stuff to get there?
That's one area I'm not an expert on. Your household goods office can give you a much better idea, and there's a required delivery date for your personal property and car shipments. You can track your shipments on the web. What I can tell you is that it's really important to keep those websites updated with your contact information so they know how to contact you and set up delivery. If you ship a car, you'll have to go to St. Louis to pick it up. That's the closest port to Wright-Patt. It's about 350 miles each way, so it's 1 day there and 1 day back. The government pays mileage to get you there and covers the cost of a one-way rental car.
Alright, enough of the details. I just really want to know what there is for people to do. Seems like Ohio has a reputation for being boring and flat.
Well, there's no mountains, but it's not totally flat either. And trust me, it's not boring. It doesn't matter what you like to do, you can probably find it here or close by. Besides Dayton, you're about an hour away from either Cincinnati or Columbus. The base has 3 golf courses, running tracks, workout facilities, swimming pools, and gyms. They also have a shooting range, and during season, you can also hunt in designated areas on base. You can go fishing and camping as well. You can also get tickets to all the major attractions in the area. Off base, you have a lot of the same opportunities. There's over 250 miles of bike paths in Ohio. There are lots of parks, and Cincinnati and Columbus both have great zoos. There's a great aquarium just over the Ohio River in Newport, Kentucky, and if you're a thrill seeker, you're only about 45 minutes away from Kings Island Amusement Park.
It's so fluffy!
Then, there's the Air Force Museum, right next to the base. They have more than 360 aircraft and missile exhibits where you can trace the history of aviation. They even have the real Memphis Belle and a space shuttle crew trainer. The area also has plenty of culture. There are theaters, live music venues, concerts, art, and history all over the place. One of the areas in Dayton is known as the Oregon District, a historic part of town that's been preserved and renovated into a great shopping and dining experience.
Now you're talking. Tell me about shopping.
Well, the base has everything you'd expect. A modern BX, a big commissary, and a shopette. Off base, you'll have all the grocery and department stores that you're used to. And there are 2 malls, one in Dayton and the other near the base. There's another outdoor shopping area called the Green that has lots of shopping and restaurants.
So, when she's shopping, what do I do?
You'll love it here. For college sports, there's the University of Dayton and Wright State University right here in town. Dayton even hosts the opening rounds of the NCAA basketball tourney every year. There's a minor league baseball team too, the Dayton Dragons. Plus you've got the Cincinnati Reds and Bengals only an hour away.
Okay, Ken and I are covered, but what about our daughter? What are the schools like, and what do they have to offer?
All of the kids go to local schools. They all offer lots of extracurricular activities and sports. It just depends on the size and location of the school. I can tell you that some of the schools in the area have been given the highest possible rating for education. Wright-Patt also has before and after school programming, and there are great youth programs on base. So this is a wonderful place for children of all ages. Wright-Patt has a school liaison officer, so I definitely suggest contacting them when you get here. They can give you all kinds of information about schools in the area.
While we're on the subject of education, what is there for college?
The Education Center on base has a lot of options. 5 different universities offer degree programs, and Wright State University is very close to the base. Trust me, continuing your education will not be a problem.
And what about medical care? Does the base have a nice hospital?
The base has one of the largest and best equipped hospitals in the military. They can handle just about everything, from laser eye surgery to the best in cancer care. All of the clinics and facilities are in one complex, so it's a one-stop shop. In the community, there's a hospital and emergency care clinic close by, as well as every specialty. It won't matter where you are, you'll be covered by some of the best healthcare providers in the country.
Brayton, I really appreciate your time. You've been great. I got a few more questions for you, and then I'll let you go. First, when we get there, where would you suggest we stay? And more importantly, when I get there, where do I go on day 1?
Your sponsor should be able to reserve temporary lodging on base. If those are full, you'll stay at one of the hotels nearby, and there are plenty of options. Your sponsor knows what's close to the area where you'll be working, and can help you with all the other questions you have. As for the first day, you'll go to Area A. Military goes to Building 1, and civilians go to Building 2. But I'm sure you'll get more specific instructions and directions before you get here. And one last thing, if you've got a smartphone, download the app My Base Guide. It's a quick reference to the base with common phone numbers, plus an area guide. Definitely worth it when you first get here and you're trying to find your way around.
Hey man, thanks a lot for your help and your time. Can't wait to see you again.
I'm looking forward to it too. It'll be just like old times. I'll talk to you guys again soon.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
This is gonna be fun.